Opa. Yes, Bill.
Yes, Rula, opa to you too and to all of your listeners on a
Thank you.
beautiful Tuesday evening
It's
in
nice
sunny
and
Melbourne.
cold.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're all enjoying the wonderful weather as we're about to head off to Greece. I think many of us are making that journey in a very short time, I would have thought.
Good on you. Well deserved. You need it. You need to have a break, a mental break away from all of us from the Greek community, away from Australia and Melbourne and everyone that demands your time, like me. Now, let me
No,
just
you're all
now.
friends, Rula. There's always time for friends, and there's also plenty of time for vocation and community activities that you actually enjoy doing rather than being a burden or a job. So, whatever it is that we're involved in, because of the great teamwork that it surrounds us, it's a real pleasure being a part of. It's
Oh,
not
that's
work.
I know, I know. I did say, and I've said it so many times, a quote that was once given to me, and I love sharing it all the time because you just don't know when someone pops in and listens. And it's do what you love doing, and you'll never work a single day. Not everyone
Absolutely.
can do it, but if you can, do what you love.
Look, absolutely. Or the other way to think about it is that you may not love what you do all of the time, but if you believe in what you do and you believe in the greater good of what you're trying to achieve, and that you believe that it's bringing a positive message to people, that it's bringing people together, that it's allowing others to express themselves, to find themselves, and to also advance themselves, then it doesn't have to be a perfect score and everything, as long as the movement is upwards and you feel you're being part of something that's worthwhile.
That is so true. Now, Bill, I'm so sorry about the start of the show. I don't know what happened tonight. I just could not connect my music. So I went into a panic mode. And because normally we start with the opera song, and then
I
I
could
get
hear
my
music.
first guest
I
on.
could hear music,
Yeah,
absolutely.
thank you. Now, Bill, I know you're very, very busy, and I know you also got some deadlines tonight. So, first of all, congratulations. The election, the 2025 Greek Community Board, you've been re-elected. And what a board it is.
It's a good board. We have the highest representation of women in this board, arguably in its history. I can't be 100% certain of that. And the organisation is approaching 130 years. So it is.
Amazing.
It's an organisation that predated federation, and it's arguably the largest Greek organisation in terms of its cultural and educational product globally. So, having practically 50% of our board members who are women is
It is
incredibly
so good.
important to us, so that our board reflects the diversity of the community and society within which we live in.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. It is so important. And with that note, I just want to congratulate Vicky Kiritsis. She came in at second, but the first out of all the females. Congratulations to her, being the secretary previous. Amazing work she's done. And it's great to see that she got voted in so highly too. We've got Spiridula. I'm just going to go through the women. Spiridula, we've got Tas. So Spiridula Dimitriou. We've got Tess Skardelis, Anthi Sideropoulos, our beautiful Anthi, Stella Moscas, Dora Papamakrios, signomi if I say this wrong, Sophia Sarkos, Helen Hiotis, Ange Kenos. Was Ange a female or male? I'm so sorry.
No,
I
that's
don't.
a male. He
That's
wasn't
a male.
elected. He was running as an independent.
Okay. So there is.
There's more than that. You got
I
to
know.
keep
Is it
going.
Mena? Is Mena a female?
Is Mina
So it's
Janellis?
Mina Ganelis, Stella
Yes.
Moskos, είπαμε, Dora,
Yeah.
Simeli, is that a female?
Yes, Samela
Semela
Stamatopoulos from the
Stamatopoulos.
Pontiaki Estia. So
Oh,
we're
that's,
bringing
I
them in,
thought I knew
bring
that
them in
name.
from everywhere,
That's so
from
good.
every cultural institution that exists in Melbourne. We want to have participation. We've got Sophia, who runs Ikuspemti Martio, the Greek National Day Parade. We've got Samela, who's a key participant in Pontiaki Estia. We've got people from all walks of
Everywhere.
life. from
And the
everywhere.
legendary Bill Papastergiadis. Now, I don't know if this is premature. So, have you been re-elected as the president in moving forward? Are you
No,
still the president?
no, I'm not the president.
No.
So our tenure comes to an end the day prior to the election. That is, as a board, we're no longer constituted as a board
So, what
at the
does that
day of the
actually mean?
election. So 14 days post the election, the electoral committee is subject to receipt of any complaints about the process, etc. If there aren't any, or the electoral committee can resolve those complaints, then 14 days post the election, in other words, on the 14th of July, a first meeting convened by the electoral committee takes place of the 19 elected people. At that meeting, those 19 people then elect the executive, some in the hands of the people, ruler, as always.
Look, you know what? No matter what, you're going to still be part of the team regardless.
That's
And
right.
I know, you've been the head of Australia. You've been, you're the person, when you interact with Greece, it's Bill Papastergiadis. Like my mum says, palida ton filoso, as in your friend. So delyorasi, με τις Έλληνες. So I go, yes, mum, it's Bill Papastergiadis. And she got to meet you very quickly at
Yeah,
the,
lovely. She's a
the
lovely
cocktail
person.
party.
I did meet your mum. Now, you and I would know that in any organisation or anything that we do it on the back of the effort of so many others around us.
That's right.
And although I may be the epicenter on the odd occasion in relation to some of the activities of the community or its voice or its actions,
There's a
um,
massive team behind you that you
that
all work
that
together.
is the result of the hard work and the commitment, the dedication, offered largely by the majority of people pro bono. None of us are paid for this. It
No,
drags us away from our families, from my kids, from our mothers and fathers who are getting on in age, and they do really need us beside them. So all of us need to be, I think, very generous in the way we see community participants in their functions. I'm not talking about the Greek community of Melbourne per se, but I'm talking about people generally who volunteer their time. We need to be generous in terms of the way we appreciate and understand that commitment, because it's a lot. It's thankless. Social media doesn't help because everyone's got an opinion in social media, but that's the world we live in. My motto and value system is that the only message you can really listen to is the message from your team around you, who hopefully are honest with you, and also your internal voice. In other words, your conscience. And if you can follow and be guided by a clear conscience, an open heart, and a great team, then we should feel very comfortable about what it is that we can offer. And we
that's
don't
right.
always succeed, but we do our best.
You do. You guys do your best. And I personally know how everybody works, especially yourself.
Well, you come
I
to the
mean,
events, ruler. I mean, you play a very critical role in that regard, because I don't actually know where you find the time to participate, to record, to document, because it is our history, and that history
yes,
will be lost if it's not for people like yourself
to
that are
share it
there
and share it.
when it's
Yes,
happening to chronicle it. And, hopefully our children, our grandchildren, our friends, our nieces, and nephews have a reference point to look back and understand what was taking place. Because while we're doing these functions or activities or events, we're writing our own history, but whether we understand it or not. And we're writing our own history in the world that we live in. And in other words, it's not Greece here, it's
no,
Australia. And
that's
we're
right.
in a multicultural, cosmopolitan world, writing a particular story, a narrative that reflects our existence. And, chronicling it the way you do, and participating the way you do, is vital for that. So I thank you for that. I really
Thank
do.
you,
And
Bill.
people should get behind you and support your program.
Thank you, Bill. Now, just going back to you, you run one of the biggest law firms
One
now
of one of
recognised in
one of one of
Australia.
one
Have
of
I said it?
one of the biggest. I'm the national chairman of
Or
Moran
the
Agnew. So
biggest?
we've got
Yeah.
eight to 900 people there,
And
excelling
it's
in
won
so
so
many
many
different areas.
awards. It's highly
Yeah, yeah.
recognized.
Yeah, we're up for the Australia Law Awards in August. So this is an important thing. Um, we're up for the Pro Bono Award of the year for as an Australian law firm. So as a law firm, we contribute a number of $1 million per annum in offering free legal community service to people who don't have the capacity to see a lawyer, can't afford one. And, our firm and a lot of the lawyers that we employ full time just for that service which we pay for. So,
Wow.
and that runs into the well over $10 million in the last,
Wow.
8 or so years. But that's important because that's that sense of you feel part of a community by giving back to those who aren't as fortunate as us, Ruler. Not everyone is as fortunate as us,
No,
and
that's exactly right.
that's a really proud achievement for me that the firm has been nominated for that, for the
And
Pro
thank
Bono
you
Award.
for saying that because it's the first time I hear. I have been to your law firm. I have met some of your team, obviously not the 900 of them, but everyone that I have met have been amazing. If I've got a question, it gets answered. I know I've taken time, even with you at the law firm, walked in and going, "Whoa, where am I today?" Sitting with you. And I remember one time when I went in and I walked into this massive boardroom and I felt like, wow, it's only rule up, but it was
And you
great. And
belong there. It's a home for
thank
everyone.
you.
That's the
You did.
point.
You made me feel so welcomed. It
It's a
doesn't matter.
home for
I've always
everyone.
felt.
Everyone should
Now,
feel comfortable.
you've moved locations.
Yes, we have, and it's really nice where we've moved to. I must
Oh, I've got
admit,
to visit.
I do love it. It's 333 Collins Street. It's one of those beautiful buildings that was built, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago, but where attention to detail was at the core of the construction. And it's stately. Um, you know, you look, aesthetics is part of life. You need to enjoy where you are.
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
aesthetics of the building are are really are really nice. I mean, it's one of the reasons we go back to Greece. The aesthetics of Greece, its visual appearance, it's the satisfaction we get of that environment
Wow.
is what attracts us back. And I really do enjoy the new premises we
Well,
moved in.
I
And
hope
you need
I
to come
get.
and visit.
No, I'm hoping I can visit before you go overseas. I will
You
send
better
you a
be
private
quick.
message and see if we can tee it up.
You
I
better
would
be
love to
quick.
go and take a little video and everything. Oh my God, Bill, thank you so much. Just very quickly, the Greek Centre, as always, it's got so many things happening there. Can you name something that comes to your mind that you're looking forward to?
The music festivals that are on, I think, is it this weekend or the weekend after that have been unfortunately sold out. Where the Miki Theodorakis, I think it is, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but they've been sold out. We're running some really interesting programs for our students on STEM during the
Wow.
school holidays for
Wow.
young kids, primary school
That is
kids.
so good.
How good is
Look,
that?
it is because the
Also,
work,
yes, sorry, go
the
on, Rula.
organisation I work for, they're very much on about STEM, and they get a lot of the Indigenous people and the Torres Strait Islanded people, the young in there, and they do a lot of work with STEM. So when I hear that, and then hear that the Greek Centre is also providing that is really good.
Yeah, it is great. There's so much happening all the time. We've got our lecture series that's run by Nick Dallas. We've got an amazing program for which people can enroll. Where if you're the partner of a Greek person and you want to develop some basic Greek, there's an excellent program that's commencing very shortly for those people. Um, we recently had some theatre performances that were exceptional that I really enjoyed. Our theatre group is another level. We've had our dance group events that participate in a number of different other functions, and I don't know. I'm so lucky to be part of a dynamic organisation that is continuing to reinvent itself and is surrounded by so many giving people. I'm the lucky one.
Well, I'm very lucky because I remember when you said to me, "Well, I've become a member at the Greek Centre," and I had no idea about becoming a member. I don't know, I just didn't know, and becoming a member opened my eyes to so many things of what really goes on at the Greek Centre and all the people that I've met, and been able to push through all the events there has been remarkable. And, when I was on emceeing at Antipolis Festival and having all these thousands of young people in front of me at one stage, and I remember saying to them, "We need you guys to become members. We need
Yeah,
you. You're the
absolutely.
future, the future voters. You're gonna take it from where we will leave behind." And I do hope that a lot of people become members and, yeah, continue to grow.
And we've got, look, for them as they participate and contribute. We're having a meeting with the new elected new gas board, and I said to them, our premises are available for you. You hold your board meetings here. Identify your platform and your program. We will invest in it. We want to be partners with you in student action, activity, culture, programming. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as part of that, the Greek community of Melbourne founded a few years ago the cultural and educational tours to Greece. And
Yes.
our students are leaving for Greece in about a week's time to be part of that. And then there'll be another cohort, which are high school students, going in September. So these are opportunities for people to immerse themselves with an amazing tour program, and which they will come back reinvigorated and understanding in a meaningful and deep way their identity and culture. Stuff we didn't have, we're doing. We work
Yeah.
hard with the Greek government to help fund these things. The Greek community stands beside all of us here in
And
Melbourne.
your Greek is just improved so much since I first met you, and
That's
mine
true.
too. It's still going though. I'm still learning different
Ligaki.
words.
Ligaki.
No, you're going, and when I sit there listening to you sometimes when you're making a speech and I write down these words, God, he's used those words a few times. I need to learn those.
We all do that, don't worry.
Thank you so, so very much. And
You're
I
welcome.
will definitely catch up and hopefully before you have a holiday. If not, enjoy the break, enjoy Greece, the warm weather. Because when you come back, you're going to have so much work to do.
Not just that, but I'll also come back with a killer tan.
Yes, that is so, so true. I might get you on a live and say, okay, Bill, I'm going to send
Show
you a
us your
link.
colour.
Show us where you are. Just make sure you're sort of dressed, but
Oh,
just
we
show
could do
us.
that. We could do that. We can do it from Villagmeni. Absolutely.
Why not?
Oh, yeah. It'll be wonderful to do across from there.
It'll be amazing. Bill, thank you so, so much. Have a good evening.
Enjoy. Take care. Goodbye to all your listeners. Bye bye.
Thank you.